In this series of videos, I'm going to be working through 8 questions, 8 equations to solve from the latest super quiz that I gave my students. So it's going to be a mix of linear, quadratic, and other types of equations. So this first one right here is just a linear equation. We know that it's linear because all we see is x to the first power. We don't see anything radical. We don't see anything with fractions. No powers other than 1. So with a nice linear equation, your job is to get the variables on one side and constants on the other. So we can do this in multiple steps. I suggest that you go ahead and subtract 3x on both sides. Now, you could move 7x from the right to the left side. I'm going to choose not to do that because I like to maintain a positive lead coefficient if at all possible. So combine like terms on the right side. 7x minus 3x is 4x. Now that we have the variables on the right side, we do move the constants to the left by subtracting 58. Remember, again, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. Now, as I was grading, I noticed that several people would make mistakes over here, mistakes with signs. So they would get 48, but then they would somehow forget that this is supposed to be a negative. The negative is larger in terms of the absolute value, so it keeps the sign. And finally, to finish getting x by itself, we want to divide both sides of the equation by 4. You need to understand that at this point, it doesn't matter what's on the right side of the equation, or what's on the left side of the equation. Your job is to get x by itself, which is to divide both sides by its coefficient of 4. So, negative 48 divided by 4 gives us negative 12. If it makes you weird and creeped out to have x on the right side, you can always rearrange this and say x equals negative 12. Both of these guys are totally acceptable.